Hey, it's day something or other of the popular music process. The last time I talked to you, I had recorded on the video in the car on a Saturday night, and I was Saturday morning, I was coming home from doing an interview on WPRK. And after that, I had to rearrange my sleep schedule, and that meant staying up for like 2 days so I could go to bed at the proper time, and I was a little out of my mind. So, I decided it was probably best just not to work right then. And besides, I really had to take a few mental health days because, one, my ears were just a little shot from listening to the same thing over and over again, and I wasn't making terribly objective decisions. And secondly, I was losing my mind because I feel really closely tied to this material and what I'm trying to make, and I felt like, oh, nothing's going right. So today I got back to it, although there's not much fun to report. Basically, I did a little bit of tweaking the last mix that I made by finding... I did one mix where I cut pretty much all the sub-bass, and then it felt really flat. So I ended up adding just a touch more back end, about enough that I can kind of deal with it. And then I ran it through a whole de-essing process, and I tried to do a bunch of de-essing, which is, you know, I talk with a slight lisp. That's where you do that tss every time you hit an S. I tried to kind of keep that in check while recording the vocals and keeping it in mind while mixing cymbals and hi-hats, but you can only do so much on the fly, so I kind of had to do it over it, and I was really concerned that this was going to take a lot of the high end out of the record, but then I went, well, I'm going to have to cut a ton of this high end anyways, because you have to make compromises for it for vinyl, but, you know, it's worth it in the long run. So I did that, and then, in the interest of getting some objective opinions, I sent a copy of this mix to Chris Zabriskie to just go, hey, can you play this in the car, maybe on your way home, and make sure that, you know, just let me know your overall impressions, and if this were your album to EQ, what would spring to mind for you to do? That's where we're at now, and it is, we're like 10 minutes away from it becoming August 1st as I tape this, and then of course in a few days gotta go do the Nerdapalooza thing, so that's like 3 to 4 days where I'm out of commission. I can't do anything else. I'm doing a lot of things at Nerdapalooza this year. So yeah, I'm sort of waiting patiently to hear back from Chris, and then I think tomorrow I will actually I will start compiling the user data. I've been a little nervous about doing this because, well, this is a whole other thing. I have to really kind of write a story to go along with the record, but once I just start compiling it all in one place, it should get a lot easier. I think I'm just psyching myself out of it because I'm getting nervous. It feels like I'm starting to make a brand new record, but I'm not doing that. I'm merely working on the one done. But I know that if the technical manual is an I'm calling it the technical manual, but that's not really what it is. But if these liner notes aren't interesting, then it feels like the concept will fail, and no one will like me, and I will be friendless until the end of time. Anyways, in other good news, the new issue of the Orlando Weekly that's going to hit newsstands tomorrow, it turns out Nerdapalooza's on the cover, and Cap, a good friend of mine who you saw singing the vocals to Triforce Mike, True Story song, he's actually one of the people on the cover, and that's really cool, man. So I actually called Hex quickly to just go, look, man, I know you're swamped, you got a ton of shit to do with Nerdapalooza, but really, you gotta take a step back at moments like this, and look at just what you've done here, man. I mean, sure, maybe you're not responsible for creating the entertainment itself. That is up to other artists, but what you did was you had the foresight to say, you know, what if all the people that do this could do it in one room, and it wasn't a convention? I know it seems really obvious, but he was the guy that did it, and he should be really proud of himself, and I called him to remind him of that. And then we had to go, because he's putting together Nerdapalooza, and that's happening in a few days, and he's fucking swamped. Yeah, that's where we're at today. That's what's going on. I'll let you know a little bit tomorrow, based on what I've done. I hope you're well, my friends. Talk to you soon. Bye.